Hello, my beautiful goddesses. Welcome to today's live video here in the Abundant Empath community. We are talking about dealing with doubters, even if the doubter is you. So, first of all, let's just get super honest with ourselves, all right? So, how many of you would consider yourselves to be big dreamers? Put an emoji down below. Say yes, I'm a big dreamer. I want to kind of know sort of where we're at as a group here. I know lots of you are. Many empaths are huge dreamers. Imagination is one of our biggest, most beautiful empath gifts. And how many of you are big dreamers, or maybe you're not necessarily, but you find yourself attracting doubters or negative people into your life? Let me know also in the comments if you feel like that is you. And then one that I believe that we will probably already all share, but I'd love to hear from you once again in the comments. Do you feel that you are the type of person as an empath who is picking up on that energy, on that doubt, on that negative, on that playing it safe kind of energy? Because this is really important for us to kind of start to take this assessment and recognize that what I'm going to share with you today, there are things that we can do to change it. So the first thing I want to talk about is there are actually a couple different types of doubters. Now, these can be external, or this actually might be you. So once again, gonna invite you to get super honest with yourself. The first type of doubter that I wanna just make us aware of today is the negative Nancy. The negative Nancy. This is the type of doubter where it's just kind of, well, the world is bad, things will never work out, it's not possible, life is always going to be this way. That's that negative Nancy, right? And then we've got, and this one is what I find to be probably more common, but not as much acknowledged. That is Protective Polly. That's what we're going to call her today. Protective Polly. Who is Protective Polly? Protective Polly is the type of doubter who's the play it safe kind of doubter. The play it safe kind of doubter, where, oh, well, have you thought about this? Or what if it doesn't work out? Or you better have a backup plan because, oh my gosh, if things go wrong, I don't want you to get hurt. And so oftentimes these protective Pollys can be the people in our lives, the people who love us, our family members, our friends, our, spouses or significant others. So you've got your negative Nancy's, you've got your protective Pollys, and we've talked about kind of the external piece. Now here's the important part, right? If these people are showing up, if these kinds of doubters are showing up in your life, and maybe if you don't even feel that you are one, likely there is something that we need to heal within us. So even if doubting is not the thing that you feel like you pick up from other people and you're an empath, right? This is really, really important. Anything that we are seeing, noticing, picking up on externally that triggers us, right? Anything that kind of hits a chord within us is something that we actually need to shine a light on and heal. So anytime that you have a doubter in your life, you can say, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate this because I recognize that this is an opportunity for me to take the doubt that's around me and put a light on what it is that might be stopping me internally in terms of my own self-doubt and become even stronger in myself. So if you are manifesting these types of people in your life, or maybe if you grew up, it's a very common thing, especially the protective Polly, like maybe you grew up around a protective Polly or a few protective Pollys, that you are being asked to step into your own self-belief and move through self-doubt as a big theme for your life. So that's really the first step to dealing with doubters, to dealing with any emotion, is to take full accountability and responsibility for it, right? So anytime there is something that's being projected onto us, we have the opportunity to decide, am I going to absorb this? Am I going to take this on? Is this something I'm going to incorporate into my psychology or my energy or my emotions? Or is this something that I'm going to let go of? Because another person's doubt, just like your own, if something shakes you, if there's a doubter around you and it shakes you, that's more about you than it is about them. That person's doubt, who's ever bringing that onto you, that doubt is more about their own beliefs and where they're at in their own journey and their own relationship with themselves. It has nothing to do with you. So we've got to remember this, right? If we're surrounded by doubt, that is not reality. That is not truth. That is not fact. That is that person's own reflection and creation of reality. So you have the opportunity when that shows up around you to decide, do I want to keep this? Do I want to own this? Or do I want to let it go and recognize that that person is in their own little world and their own beliefs and it has absolutely nothing to do with me or what may or may not, I'm not going to take that back, scratch that. What is possible, it has nothing to do with what is possible for you, right? So the doubters, you can thank the universe for helping them show up in your life. You can even thank yourself, right? If you have doubt within you, it is an opportunity to become even stronger in who you are. I'm passionate, just like everything I share on this, right? I'm passionate about sharing this because this was my journey. This has been my journey in particular for about the last year of my life. So up until that point, right, had been on this transformative journey, tons of self-development, but there was still this doubt that lived within me. There was doubt around finding my soulmate, finding the right partner for me. There was doubt around my business. There was doubt around finances. There was doubt around how this beautiful life that I wanted to manifest, that it was all going to come together. And there were a lot of doubters around me, right? People saying like, oh, all this woo-woo stuff, like it's not, I don't know how you'd ever make a living out of that, or, you've got to have a stable, steady, solid job, and, there are no conscious men out there, all these things, right? And I was absorbing them. I was taking the doubt and I was internalizing it and I was making it my own belief system. And what I had to recognize was that was not serving me. I had to take accountability. I had to get sick of my own bullshit. I had to get sick of recreating the same cycle, the same blocks, my own doubt stopping me from what I wanted. And I had to say, no more. No more. And that's really the first step, right? So if there's doubters around you, or if there's doubt within you, or you have big dreams and they haven't manifested yet, and if they haven't manifested, there's doubt in there. If they haven't manifested, there's doubt in there. So there's a couple of things, there's key things that we need to do to get you to where you want to be, to move you out of the space of doubt and into a space of unshakable belief. Number one is that accountability, and that goes for everything in life, everything, right? There's negative people around you, there's emotions coming at you, there's baggage around you, right? Taking accountability for anything that you take on, anything that you absorb, you get to decide, number one, what you take on, and number two, what you do with that. So that accountability piece is so huge. Number two is going to be self-awareness, right? Self-awareness. This is the pivotal first step in what I do with people as a coach. The self-doubt comes from not knowing yourself. It comes from not understanding yourself, not owning what it is that you're great at. And you know what, if you're not there, that's okay, right? We have tons and layers of conditioning and beliefs and things that have been put on us and expectations. And so my invitation to you is, come on, let's get to know the real you. And beyond that, let's create the you that you want to be. You get to decide. So that self-awareness, that self-discovery piece is huge when it comes to getting rid of self-doubt. What I like to use for this is something called strengths and something called astrology to help you develop that unshakable belief, right? Then there's this period. Now, let me know if you feel this one. This step of releasing the guilt and the fear, because again, those negative Nancys out there, right? We feel guilty because they've settled in their lives, and this is no knock on anybody. But if you want more, it's like, well, who am I, right? Sometimes we go through this belief pattern of, well, who am I to want more in my life? I should be grateful for everything that I have, right? Oh, I see we've got a few people on. This is amazing. I should be grateful for everything that I have. And yes, we all want to be grateful for everything that we have. But there's nothing stopping you from wanting more. If somebody else wants to settle with a certain level that they're at in life, good for them. But if you want more, there's nothing to feel guilty about. That is likely your life path. That is likely your soul calling you toward your soul's journey, what is meant for you. Those things that are calling us, they are asking us to learn the lessons that our soul needs to live in this lifetime. So it's important for us to follow those nudges, to follow those dreams, because it's going to help us to become the person that we want to become. Another step in this process, guilt and fear, right? The fear around, well, I need to keep it safe. If you had a protective poly in your life, there's a lot ingrained in you around, well, I've got to play it safe. I've got to think of all the things that could go wrong, and I've got to mitigate all those risks, and I've got to have all the backup plans, and I've got to have it all perfect. That is stopping us. That is the doubt that is stopping us from exactly what it is that we want to create in this lifetime, right? So again, I saw Diva said, especially if the doubter is you. Yes, that's the thing, right? It's not about the other people. It's not about the protective polys and the negative Nancys externally. It's about, is there a protective poly or a negative Nancy that's living in you? And these people that are showing up in your life externally are only triggering that, bringing it to the surface so that you can heal it and overcome it and be the badass goddess queen that you are, that you can reunite, because we all have a goddess within us. You can reunite and reawaken that goddess force, creator energy inside of you. That's what I want for every single one of you. Now, the last thing we need to talk about on this path to healing the doubter is this. It's developing the new beliefs. It's being able to call yourself on your own bullshit, and having the right people around you, a coach potentially, to call you on your bullshit. This is what made the difference for me, right? I started to attract people who were like, hey, that's a limiting belief. Like, hey, you don't have to believe it. There's other ways to see it. And that is exactly what we need to develop for ourselves, is the ability to be open-minded and to be flexible and to recognize, like, oh my gosh, all these beliefs that I've lived with, or these projections or these ideas that maybe were ingrained in me because of my family or my community or, my sex or whatever it is, we don't have to keep them. We don't have to keep them. This is your journey. You get to create whatever it is that you want to create and you feel called to create in this lifetime. And that is your destiny. That is your soul's path. That is what you are here to do. So I'll end it with this. Let's stop settling, right? Let's stop settling. Let's stop allowing the doubter, whether internal or external, to stop us. And let's use that as fuel to go out there and get what we want, create what we want. And why is that important? Abundance is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. But again, above and beyond, that path to abundance is what's going to awaken your most highest, best expression, the best version of you, what you came here to learn as a soul. So don't quiet those whispers. Don't ignore those nudges. Don't listen to that inner critic. Don't allow doubt to stop you from your destiny. Let's get it, goddesses. Let's do this. If you are ready, you can go ahead and click the link that I've posted for the Abundant Empath Activation Chat, where we will get together one-on-one, face-to-face on a Zoom call, and we will talk about where you are, what's stopping you, the doubt that's within you or around you, the doubter in you. We will talk about how to move through that, and we will create the most crystal clear, beautiful vision of what it is that you want for your life. This is a space for you as an empath to finally be held, right? This is your time for me to hold and honor and reflect and create space for you to have that beautiful vision in a space that is where doubt is not welcome, right? Doubt is not welcome. I will help you with that. So let's get together, let's chat, use the link, book it, and I will see you very soon. Have a beautiful day, ladies. Thank you so much. And thank you to Diva and Jessica. You guys, yes, I love your comments. Thank you so much for being here. Blessings, everyone. See you very soon.